So this is part two. Shalom Akayam and Akawatayan. This is part two of my destination video. I wanna tell people the Messiah. I left off saying that the Messiah says flee into the mountains if you're in the land of Judea when the abomination of desolation set up. Now people may say that the abomination of desolation is a period of time, saying that it's 3,500 years, when that would be insane to think. But they would say that a day to the Most High is, 1,000 years. So if we follow that information with those brothers' conclusion about the abomination of desolation, because the abomination of desolation is supposed to be set up for a specific amount of time. And it says 1,200 and I believe 90 days the abomination of desolation will be set up. So if we did it their way, we'll have to multiply 1,290 days, times 1,000. So that would mean the abomination of desolation would be set up for 1,000,000 years, according to these brothers' understanding. So that's incorrect. That's completely incorrect. Because the Most High say, unless those days be shortened, it was shortened from 1,290 days to 1,260 days. It says, unless those days be shortened, none of the elect would make it. So let's see what the abomination of desolation is. First we're gonna go to Daniel 8. Let me get there. Daniel chapter 8. Alright. Let's go to it's talking about that little horn. That little horn is that last king. Let's go to Daniel 8 and 9. Let's read the whole chapter. Daniel 8 and 1. In the 3rd year of the reign of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And I saw in a vision, and it came to pass, when I saw, that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam. And I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulah. Then I lifted up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. And I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand, but he did according to his will to become great. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had the 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great, toward the south, toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. And it says, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stomped on them. Verse 11. It say, yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And so it's basically saying he cast down the sanctuary. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. And they cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. So it's talking about a kingdom. And it says, and then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spoke, how long shall be the vision? It says, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice, and the transgression of desolation, which is the abomination of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden underfoot. So he's talking about to give Israel to be trodden underfoot. And he said unto me, under 2,300 days. It says 2,300 days. Then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. So it's 2,300 days, not 1,290. It's 2,300 days. That's how long it was supposed to be given. This was in Daniel's basically vision, so it wasn't really an interpretation of straight prophecy from the mouth of Daniel, but this was a vision that he wrote down. And it says, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. And cleansed meaning this is when the Messiah comes and cleans it up. You know, in verse 14 it says, and it came to pass, when I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulah, which called and said to Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. But he said unto me, understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be this vision. So this is saying at the time of the end, the abomination of desolation will be set up. At the time of the end. And it says, now as he was speaking with me, I was in deep sleep, in a deep sleep. He says he was in a deep sleep when he was speaking with him, on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright. And he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be. So this prophecy is going to happen at the end. And it says, the ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. And the rough goat, he is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce contentness and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. So this last king is that horn that takes away the daily sacrifice, and he is the abomination of desolation. Verse 24, it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So in Revelation, it talks about the holy people, Satan making war with the holy people because he cannot touch the woman that fled into the wilderness. Daniel 8 and 25, that was Revelations 12 that I just referenced. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And he shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And he says, and the vision of the evening and the morning which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And I, Daniel, fainted and was sick certain days. Afterward I rose up and did the king's business, and I was astonished at the vision, but none understood it. So that was that was telling us that the abomination of desolation is the last king that will rule before the Messiah comes. In the kingdom of basically the Edomites' kingdom. He will rule he will be the king of the Edomite empire before the Messiah comes. The whole empire. The whole thing, this one man will rule the whole thing. You know, and he will have power to overcome the saints. So let's get that scripture where it says he will overcome the saints. So we know that it's not we know that that's not talking about a dispensation of time is the abomination of desolation, but this last king is the abomination of desolation. Let's go to Revelations 13. It's talking about this beast, this king. Now it's talking about this king. 13:7 says this, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. To overcome them. So this is the brother that will overcome the saints. And he's the brother that's going to bring forth the mark of the beast 666, which the mark of the beast is already being brought forth. So this king is in place now, but he's just not revealed as this king. If we go to, so he has to be revealed, and he's going to build his palace in the holy ground. That's going to be the abomination of desolation. Also, when he set up his kingdom and rules from Jerusalem. Let's go to Daniel 11:45 to prove that he's going to build his own temple. It says, and he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. This is that same abomination of desolation. That same abomination of desolation. Because if we go up in the same chapter to verse 31, it says this, and arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary. Just like it says in Daniel 8, they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination of that make it desolate. So they place in the abomination of desolation there. So this is also not a dispensation of time. This is someone that they placed in the holy place, and he's going to set up a palace in the holy place. So let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Let's go to verse 3. It says this, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So this king has to be revealed. He has to be revealed. And it says this in verse 4. Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sits in the temple of God and showing himself that he is God. So this brother is going to build him a temple on the Holy Land and claim to be the God. This is when he does this, he's going to be revealed. Everybody's going to see that. He's going to be revealed. So this, like I said, this abomination of desolation is not a dispensation of time. It's a specific person. So the Messiah says, when you see the abomination of desolation stand in the holy place, fleeing, and the people who be in Judea fleeing to the mountains. The people in Demona are in Judea. It's some brothers who fled Babylon that's in Tel Aviv that's in Judea. And I'm planning on going to Elat, and I will be in Judea. So when we see this man standing in the holy place in his own temple, we need to flee into the mountains, just like the Messiah said.